90s, but you look at us now, we're miles away from there.
It would have been a bigger monster if we won something. You have to move on. Liverpool players have to deal with that. Manchester United players, the expectations of playing at a big club.
Just have a little patience.
Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, Sam Allardyce was the #1 choice by the fans and by the board at the time.
Even Keegan's future was in doubt in the early months. Sam Allardyce and his predecessors will relate to Keegan's belief that the Newcastle job is nothing like it says in the brochure.
Such a wonderful club, Peter. Why are they still waiting for a trophy here?
It's beat me a few times, Richard. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's an impossible job. I think Sam knows that given the time he will get what he wants and get them where we want to be. But the big thing is the elusive trophy, you know, and that has been too long in the waiting.
And whatever you do here, does it have to be done in a certain style?
Yeah, they want to see exciting football, you know. But as Sam said in his press conference yesterday, it's about winning football matches, and obviously when you're winning. But is it
here, Peter? I mean, I also noticed he took exception to the view that some people had said Geordie fans would rather lose 5-4, 4-3 than win 1-0. But actually, that's true to a degree.
Yeah, it is, because they've been used to that, you know. Certainly from Kevin's day onwards, we've had a lot of games like that, you know, and so Bobby played football like that, you know, and there are cases for that, there's no doubt about it, but I would say it's probably a 50-50 split. You know, a lot of fans come here to see the team win whatever, but I think a lot of them would like to see a brilliant attacking style of football, but unfortunately at the moment, for me, we haven't got enough players that play that way to excite the fans on a daily basis.
Here's the man in charge, Sam Allardyce, with Jeff Shreves.
Sam, it's been called the impossible job, is it?
No, I don't think so. What, this job? It's a big challenge. I mean, that's why I came. I think that just a few results now settle everything down, and then you've got to build slowly, and hopefully in the long term it'll be very successful. That's the game plan behind my situation when I first came here.
You've said yourself you're under the cosh, so what do you need tonight?
I think a committed performance like Blackburn. I think that you know, we have a few injury problems and a few lads' confidence a little bit low. But I've said to them, look, you know, most people don't expect you to do much tonight. Go a bit relaxed, go out and enjoy it as best you can, but be committed and be committed as a team, not just as individuals. And I think the big thing from our point of view is you could just cut out one or two of the silly mistakes. They seem to be punished to the ultimate in the last 3 or 4 games, which has cost us a goal when we've been in a game and then it's turned it the other way.
At the Reebok, you had the Indian sign over Arsene Wenger on quite a few occasions. So is the simple answer tonight, play like Bolton? No, because we haven't got those types of players, Jeff. I mean, you know, those players would be extremely physical if they needed to be within the rules, may I add. I think that these lads want to play football a bit more and use the possession, so we can't ask them to do something that they don't like doing. So yes, we've got to shut Arsenal down. Yes, we've got to make sure we don't allow them to play how they want to. The players must be committed to that first, because this is a fantastic side, the top of the league. They're the best league in the Premiership, and they're flying high. So you must set out first to stop them playing, doing what they want, and then capitalise on 1 or 2 of the frailties that they've got. But that's about the possession you gain then, because very often when you've worked so hard to get the ball back, if you just aimlessly give it back to the opposition, you can't get at any of the weaknesses. And the weaknesses lie, obviously, in the past, getting balls in the box, maybe free kicks. We've got to try and get up there as quick as and as much as we can, and use what possession we've got to the full advantage of the team. Good luck, Sam.
Cheers, thanks.
Is the prospect of playing Arsenal frightening or exciting?
I think exciting. You know, I look at the football they play. You know, Sam said in the interview that it's almost a free game for us, and they are the benchmark at the moment. I love watching them, I have to say, and I would go anywhere to watch Arsenal at the moment because they're fantastic.
Took Villa apart, didn't they?
They did. They were outstanding. Some of the football, I mean, they were a goal behind, you know, and honestly, the football, this goal in particular, the movement, that cross by Sanya and that header, the way he just hung there, you know. You mentioned Alan Shearer before. It's that type of goal that he can score. And Adebayor, a lot of people weren't sure if he could do that, but he is a fantastic player for Arsenal now.
It is a game that Arsenal have done particularly well in of late. They've lost only 1 of the last 11 home and away here at St James's Park. They've lost just one of the last 7. And they're in the sort of form that suggests that they may be on to win again tonight as well. Match commentators, Andy Gray and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Richard. Nothing's ever decided in December, of course, but what an important match this is for both clubs. In goal for Newcastle is Shay Given, who yesterday issued a statement denying that Newcastle's players are in dispute with their manager. One change in the back four. Stephen Taylor has recovered from injury and replaces Abdoulaye Faye, who was injured himself in the defeat at Blackburn. The rest of the team is unchanged from Ewood Park, and it'll be interesting to see how the crowd responds to Joey Barton after his outspoken comments about the fans. Obafemi Martins and Alan Smith continue in attack, and that means that Mark Viduka remains on the subs bench along with the Turkish international Emre.
I don't think there'll be any surprises in the formation that Sam Allardyce sends out. It will be that. Sadly for Newcastle, yet another change in the centre-back partnership. You talked about Stephen Taylor back in. Don't think that's so much a bad thing, but it hasn't given any centre-back partnership a chance to get going this season. A little different on either side of the pitch. It's more defensively here. I'm wondering who's going to provide the width in this one. Jeremy Mora, well, I think more a central midfield player than a right-sider. Will he get forward enough? Will be. I'm not so sure about that. No doubts on this side with Milner and in Zogbia. They will definitely want to get forward, and it might well be that the left side of the pitch is where Newcastle try to expose him. Barton, we know Nicky Butt will hold. He'll just sit now. Up to Joey Barton. I think the huge importance on him getting forward, if he can, from here, and starting to find some shots on goal, some attempts on target, and try and supplement Martins and Smith.
For now, Arsenal, Manuel Almunia enjoying his longest run in the team. The back four is also settled. They're the same players who defended so well in the second half at Aston Villa on Saturday. But injuries have caused changes in midfield, where Lassana Diarra continues for Cesc Fabregas, and Gilberto comes in to replace Matthew Flamini. There's also a change in attack. Alexander Hleb is out injured. Eduardo takes his place tonight. The subs bench includes three teenagers in Danielson, Nicholas Bentner and Theo Walcott. Arsenal's future seems to be in good hands.
Well, they had to dig deep against Aston Villa. Second half, they had to show real resilience and real determination, and they had to work really hard, which we maybe haven't seen from them. But it's a really strong side. That back four is as quick as you're going to get. Now they're up against pace with Obafemi Martins, but they should be able to cope with that. In midfield, you're bringing in Gilberto, a World Cup winner for Flamini. I don't think that makes the side any poorer. And we've yet to see Eduardo in there, maybe in place of Hleb. I think Hleb's been a real success playing in this sort of area, and they'll be looking for Eduardo just to contribute a similar type of performance. I'm not so sure they're as strong with Rosicky playing on this side, but with Clichy bombing down on the overlap, on the outside, and it's important that Newcastle break the play up as often as they can.
Well, the natives are getting restless, and this being Tyneside, they haven't been slow to show their frustration. Sam Allardyce and his players have taken a lot of stick in Newcastle's last two home games, and their confidence must be fragile for a game against the unbeaten league leaders. This is Arsenal's crucial game in hand, and they need to make the most of it. Manchester United are breathing down their necks. Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City are in hot pursuit. It's a huge game too for Newcastle, a chance to halt the growing unrest on Tyneside and give Sam Allardyce some much-needed breathing space. A full house of over 50,000 inside St James's Park. We're live with Newcastle against Arsenal. Big atmosphere at St James's Park, but Newcastle have lost 4 of their last 5 games, and it's 8 months since Arsenal were beaten in the league, so on paper there can surely be only one outcome. But in English football, we've learned to expect the unexpected. Remember, if they win, the Gunners, in their usual red and white, will go 6 points clear of Manchester United at the top of the table. Smith with the early possession for Newcastle, who need to get the fans behind them right from the start here. Sanya's tackle. Barton picking up the loose ball. And Zogbia with a chance to cross. And Rosicky clears.
Well, we'll see pretty quickly what the game plan is. 2 things you can do against Arsenal. You can adopt a deep set, a deep position, defend deep, let Arsenal have the ball in their own half and at the halfway line and invite pressure on. Villa did that first half and were made to look very, very ordinary, and Arsenal were very good. Second half, Villa 25-30 yards further up the pitch, pressure higher up the pitch, worked Arsenal really well and made Arsenal look at times quite ordinary, and they had to work very hard. So it'll be interesting to see whether Sam says that get in their faces, high up the pitch, defend from the front, win it up there, or whether he says when they get it, drop off.
And as everyone knows, of course, Sam, in his Bolton days, had a measure of success against Arsenal. It was a venue, the Reebok Stadium, that they never enjoyed visiting. Adebayor getting the belt on the head there from Stephen Taylor, an accident, I'm sure, but Adebayor doesn't think so.
I mean, it's hardly a whack or a club on the back of the head, honestly.
Home fans certainly agree with you. They think he made the most of it. Newcastle, remember, have lost both their recent home games, conceding 7 goals in the process against Portsmouth and Liverpool. Before that, though, they were unbeaten at St James's Park. They've won 4 games here. Interestingly, that's more home victories than Liverpool, who stand 3rd in the table. So things are not always quite as bad as they're painted. Who stand 3rd in the table. They were unbeaten at St James's Park. They've won 4 games here. Interestingly, that's more home victories than Liverpool, who stand 3rd in the table. So things are not always quite as bad as they're painted.
Well, it's a crowd that if you give it something can be hugely helpful, but if you don't, you know all about it.
Yes, the mood can change very quickly here. Gallas under pressure from Smith. And it's often a simple challenge like that that can get the Newcastle fans going. Rosenal's clearance. Followed all the way by Toure and Sagna. Arsenal have won 7 of their 11 away games in all competitions. Drawn 3, their only defeat recently in Seville in the Champions League. Where Eduardo, looking for possession here, gave them the lead. Adebayor is unmarked in the middle. Oh, what a goal by Adebayor! Newcastle pay the price again for poor defending, but what a finish!
What a start. What must he think? Talked to Jeff Shreves moments ago about not making mistakes. Play it up the line, get rid of it. That's an awful clearance from Nzogbia. But take nothing away from the ball that's played in here from Eboué. It's a stunning ball. Well, and the finish is brilliant. Touch and hit. It's a great finish. Very like the one he produced against Tottenham earlier this season. That kind of volley, and it had that kind of finish. It was quite emphatic. But yet again, another poor piece of dealing with the ball from Charles Nzogbia has cost Newcastle dear. And talked about the crowd giving them something. Well, they have given them something, but not what they wanted.
And more bad news for Newcastle fans. Arsenal have never lost a game in which Adebayor has scored. Milner's cross has gone beyond Smith. Oh! Well, Almunia at full stretch. Very relieved to see that one go wide from an unexpected source in Jeremy.
Well, all the people below us are up because they think this is in. It's a super ball in from James Milner, and he gets a lovely position, Jeremy, and he's so unlucky. I think if it's inside the post, it beats Almunia.
Well, that's shaken St James's Park to the core. The very start they must have been dreading. Clichy for Arsenal. Good challenge on Eduardo by a man they've really taken to here, Stephen Taylor.
Well, if you've got fragile confidence, the last thing you want to be doing is giving a goal away in the first 4 minutes of the match. We'll learn a bit more about Newcastle tonight. I thought they pretty much not chucked it against Liverpool, but They never looked like they would get back in it once Liverpool had taken the lead that night.
Obafemi Martins. A little too deep perhaps for Milner. Sanya pursues him into the corner. Well, to be fair to the crowd, they've stayed with them despite the early setback. Smith with a header.
Well, he really is back. Emmanuel Adebayor went a little spell, really struggled for goals. But now the confidence is back, and that was a measure of his confidence with that finish.
Bay looking for some movement here and gets it from Smith. The throw not accurate enough, a bit of hesitation there, and Smith slides in on Munya, a little late perhaps. Arsenal players not happy. And referee Mike Dean will have a word with him.
I think he's got a good way about him, Mike Dean. You know, he just doesn't rush in it. So many referees have been running over it, some speed. He just walked casually over. I was telling Tory to go mind his own business. They were a little slow, I think. They were a bit slow in coming out for it, Almunia. People, you know, Arsenal players have to understand the situation that Newcastle are in. Under pressure, 1-0 down. People like Alan Smith, if they think they've got half a chance, are getting a little toe on the ball and nicking it away from them, will go for it.
Good refereeing by Mr. Dean. A wild, wet and windy night on Tyneside. Obafemi Martins to take on the pacey Clichy, and he's earned the throw.
Well, they'll have to be very quick to do anything off that back four. Martins.
Huge throw, Smith again throwing himself at the ball. And Mickey Budd unable to control the rebound. Here's Jeremy. Joey Barton. Just too much on it perhaps for Milner. Has that gone out?
Just gone out, our flag's up.
Obviously didn't hear the whistle in this tumultuous noise here. Gilberto finds Clichy. Rosicki ahead of him. Adebayor beaten to it this time by Taylor. Bay. And it's an Arsenal throw. Only Arsenal and Liverpool unbeaten in the Premier League at the moment, and Arsenal are top scorers. 32 goals now. They've scored in every single league game. Short for Clichy this time. Smith. Maybe in behind Martins, who did well to rescue possession. Well, they're playing it about confidently enough here, Newcastle.
A little loose for that one. Rosenthal. I think he was looking for Alan Smith actually playing forward, but just dragged his pass a little. Decent response from Newcastle. They've actually played all right for 10 minutes. And yet, amazingly, they're 1 down.
Well, at this stage against Pompey recently, they found themselves 3 goals down. Diarra back to Gallas. Arsenal, the last team in the Premier League you want to give the encouragement of an early goal to. Eduardo. Just got caught there by Bay. And Habib Bay has to backtrack quickly as Arsenal get on with it. Diarra's shot. Adebayor, well, I'm not sure if he intended to deflect that away.
They did really well in Zogby, but another error they got away with. Adebayor did try and take the pace off it all, and if he had it done, he was in with another chance. And that's what they need to do, that sort of pressing. That's what they didn't like against Villa, when Villa got at them second half.
And Clichy just takes the heat out of it with a back pass to Almunia. Arsenal have won 4 of their last 5 away games in the Premier League and drew the other one at Liverpool. Adebayor's header on. Away by Taylor. Barton back to Nzogbia. Here's Milner. Smith. Toure closing him down very quickly. Rosana. Milner hugging that left touchline, but Toure quick to spot the danger. And Toure there again. It's a lovely ball if Adebayor can reach it, but Given equally quick to deal with the problem.
And they're trying to pass it about Newcastle.
Smith.
A little bit narrow this side, looking for Bay to provide some width. Jeremy's played pretty much infield from the start of the game.
Lovely ball by Nicky Butt to find Milner, whose cross has gone beyond Obafemi Martins. Really crucial month coming up for Newcastle and their fans. They've got matches against teams who are all currently below them in the table. Birmingham and Derby here, Fulham and Wigan away. Trying to play one over the top, and the header by Clichy has put his own team under pressure here.
Well, the bounce of the ball full Toure and Alan Smith, luckily for him.
Bay's long throw, Smith heads it on. Toure not fooled this time. Rosicky with a good header forward for Eduardo. Adebayor. Well, even a simple challenge like that seems to lift the home fans here. They do love to see their players getting stuck in and giving everything.
It's just a one ball up to Eduardo on both Rosenhall and Stephen Taylor. The first movement is back. You know, neither of them went to press Eduardo, allowed him to get the ball, bring it down, turn. You know, it's almost as if there's a little fear of being caught over the top.
Abue, away by Rosenau. Munya looking for the goal scorer, Adebayor. Seems to hang in the air, doesn't he? But free kick's gone against him this time.
He doesn't need to hang that much at 6'4", does he?
No, he's a big lad. He's a big lad. Incidentally, he isn't one of those players that Arsenal are set to lose in January when the African Nations Championships take place. He plays for Togo, and they haven't qualified. So that'll be a relief to everyone at the Emirates.
Big relief. There's Van Persie out still.
Rosicky tries to get that ahead of Jeremy. And Nicky Butt did well to come out with the ball and find Barton. There's another one from Milner.
Might be a little bit much on it. He gets it.
He's done well against Sanya, who recovered quickly.
And you can see the majority of the play from Newcastle is down that left-hand side because of the natural width of James Milner.
Rosnell gave it away and did well with his second challenge. Barton. Here's Jeremy. Again, the crowd give their vocal support despite the loss of an early goal here. Newcastle having lost their last 2 home games. They have never lost 3 in a row in the Premier League. And Toure was expecting his goalkeeper to come and help him out then.
That was good pressure.
Nicky Butt. Nzogbia. Smith. And now Milner for Newcastle. Smith busy and available again. Beaten this time by Toure. When the ball actually struck Gilberto, that's a sort of lucky break that Newcastle will feel they need at the moment. Here's Jeremy, their captain. But he dwelled on the ball a little too long, and Lassana Diarra's done brilliantly here, and they've got a man over. Adebayor has Eduardo up in support. Good work by Given in the end. Newcastle perilously close to conceding again, though.
No, they're booing because the ball didn't go out. Rosenhall picking himself up. This challenge. Just have a little look at that. Ball was bouncing and he got the second, came out second best against Diarra. 1 or 2 in the touchline. The Newcastle bench suggesting it was a boot. I think the ball was there to be won. And he'll be a little disappointed, Adebayor. They didn't do a better job there.
Rosicky will play it in on the wind, and if he gets this right, it'll be a difficult corner to defend. Smith threw his head at it.
Gilberto at the back post there. He's normally pretty good. The amount of goals this guy gets from corners, they just don't deal with it very well. A little scuff off Nicky Butt's head, and it's on his left side. It does come pretty quickly to him. Could have gone anywhere.
Hasn't scored yet this season, the Brazilian. He's got 11 last season. Lost his regular place, of course, to Matthew Flamini, who's out himself tonight with a thigh injury.
Well, that would please Sam Allardyce. You know, his team are dominating the possession. You might not have expected that in the opening 20 minutes of this match.
Rosicky. Foul on Rosenau. And Barton takes it early, much too early and inaccurately.
Well, Charles Nzogbia's mistake contributes to this goal. You look at that first ball up. Played up to him, might have been offside. Linesman didn't give it, but that can go anywhere from there. But where it can't go is there. And it's a beautiful ball, and I have to say, that's an emphatic finish from Adebayor.
A man in form, his 9th goal of the season. And Diarra showing good form as well. Former Chelsea man has won the free kick for Arsenal. Eduardo. Tolo Toure. Here's Gallas. Rosicky under pressure, back to Clichy. But there's always a man over. There's always a way out for the Arsenal player in possession. Adebayor. Gilberto. Oh, lovely little flick from Adebayor. Unlucky it didn't come off. As Milner finds Bart. Very congested in the middle of the field.
Well, that's the pressure that Newcastle are putting on. They're trying to win it in there. They're almost going like 4-3-3. With Jeremy, Butt and Barton really tight in the midfield.
Eduardo. It's a good ball for Rosicky. Adebayor got that one wrong to Newcastle's relief. Martins.
I think they've just tried to get Martins in the last 3 or 4 minutes on this right-hand side. So they play him here, down below us, and Milner on the far side, and Alan Smith. And I don't think it's a position Martins likes.
Diarra. Here's Eduardo again. Good challenge by Bay. They signed from Marseille just before the transfer deadline. Clichy. Diarra. Good ball for Aboué on the right. Sanya on the overlap. Adebayor. It's not often he's knocked off the ball as easily as that. And Gibbons clearance straight into touch. Arsenal already on 36 points. It's the best start they've ever made in the Premier League, and remember, they'll go 6 points clear of Manchester United if they win here tonight. Clichy.
I think that's an incredible start. When you think of the season they went undefeated, and yet this is a better start. Phil Marston.
And they've done it the right way. But now they've given it away. Barton. Milner can take on Sanya here. Barton. Groans of disapproval as he gave it away. The crowd know how quickly Arsenal can break. Rosicky, Adebayor. Lovely ball for Eduardo. Adebayor wants it back. Oh, that was not the ball he was looking for.
I don't think it was bad. I just don't think Aboué or Rosicky took a chance. Right across the edge of the 6-yard box, fed that ball. Not a bad area.
Now Adebayor fished that one out of the sky with great technique. Rosicky. Here's Gilberto. Crowd are begging for a tackle to be made here by a Newcastle player.
This is what I mean. This is the difference if you sit back and try and work Arsenal. It's much more difficult to win the ball off them.
It's another Arsenal throw. They just can't get out of their half at the moment, Newcastle. They ought to now, though. Well, it looks as though Newcastle have decided to make an early substitution here, up to 25 minutes.
I just watched Nicky Butt a couple of minutes ago. He was off the pitch, and I think I've looked at him again, he's just signalled to the bench to just give him a couple of minutes. So I think if anyone's got a problem, it's Nicky Butt.
Here's Smith, meantime. Good ball for Bay. Rosicky. Apparently Nicky Butt has signalled to the bench that he's OK for the moment. As Jeremy gets his cross in, Martin's in a good position there, but it never reached him. Gilberto. Clichy. Great control again by Adebayor.
Well, that's where they've got to work them, Mal. Things like that. That's where I think Newcastle have to, whenever possible, press in those areas. Just take some tablets. I think Jeff Shreve's got some news downstairs.
Just now, Nicky Butt came across just before this and had another couple of tablets. I don't know if that's 4 he's taken now, but he signalled 30 seconds before he came across, I'm OK. So Emre's sat back down, looks like he's OK to continue.
Thanks, Jeff.
Decent little link up that, edge of the box. The ball in was a good one. Smith could use his chest to just knock it down, and Milner just comes across him. A little crossover run that didn't quite hit it the way he wanted to.
Newcastle starting the match 11th in the Premier League table. They've only taken 1 point out of the last 15 available. Eduardo trying to get in here. It's gone straight to Rosicki, the clearance. Now Martins. Only Smith up with him. Although Milner making ground down the left now. Here he is. Martins, good challenge. Back again to Milner, and the referee has not done Newcastle any favours by pulling them back for the free kick.
Well, he might have done if the Allardyce one in the top corner, mind you. He just plays it in there. Gilberto going to ground, giving away the free kick. Would have been interesting, mind you.
Mr. Dean indicating he will not allow a quickly taken free kick here. He'll pace out the distance and blow the whistle before Newcastle can try and catch Arsenal by surprise here. That's pretty much Almunia's view of things. Well, he lined things up well, particularly his own feet.
As if he's saying, that's me, that's my side. You'd expect him to save that. They kept a hold of it. That was important.
And strangely enough, Newcastle's 2 best efforts have both come from Jeremy, not exactly a renowned goal scorer.
He ain't scored this season yet, has he?
No. Bay. Oh, clever little flick from Diarra to Eduardo. Here's Rosicki. Gilberto. Sanya has a Boué in support. Here he is. Eduardo. Well, they make the game look so simple, but it's not just about their passing ability, it's about the movement off the ball as well.
And their individual skill. You see them when they get the ball. Always got a trick or two.
Rosicki with a clever little ball around the corner to Adebayor, who couldn't quite keep the move going.
That was brilliant. You know, that little flick round the corner there, Adebayor took 5 Newcastle players out of it. Watch this for the throw-in. There's a 5. Look at them. And they've gone. They're out the game. And a better ball to Ibui. Might have had a different end result.
Live football for you from the Premier League on Saturday. Aston Villa against Portsmouth, Sky Sports 1 and high definition from 12:30. And Wolves against Burnley from the Championship, 5:15 on the same channels, the same day. Sanya looking for a Boué. Zogbia with the interception. This game, by the way, was originally due to be played back in August, but Arsenal were involved in the Champions League qualifiers. They've since sailed through them and sailed through the first group. So this is their game in hand. And they lead coming up to the half-hour mark. Teams did meet earlier in the season. Arsenal, despite fielding a weakened team, beat Newcastle 2-0 in a Carling Cup tie back in September. The 2 Premier League meetings last season were both drawn, 0-0 here, 1-1 at the Emirates. Only Eduardo in the middle for Arsenal at the moment, and he can stay there. They've got a corner.
We talked about the good possession at the beginning of this game. First 20 minutes was very much in Newcastle's favour. Just look at the last 10. Arsenal slipped into gear. Don't have to chase the goal, so they're working Newcastle about the pitch with that possession.
Adebayor, perhaps once again the man to watch here. Diarra. They've still got about 8 or 9 players forward here, Arsenal. One of them is Eduardo. Well, Newcastle have shown a fair amount of resilience since going a goal behind. What they haven't shown really is any inclination or likelihood of getting an equaliser.
No, that's fair. That would be a fair assessment of it. The one shot really from Jeremy, from the free kick and the header, just wide. There were only 2 occasions that Arsenal have looked in trouble. Just a 1 each on target.
And that final pass continues to let Newcastle down. Clichy. No, that was careless. And switched over to this side for the moment. And Newcastle got a free kick here in an interesting position despite the protest from William Gallas.
Yeah, it's not like Gallas. Sometimes you can't win it. You can't get there, and he comes round Smith, wrong foot, trying to come round with his right. Looked clumsy. And Smith just used that to win the free kick. And these are the situations Sam Allardyce was talking about taking advantage of set plays. This would be the kind of area he meant.
Zogbia to take it. Oh, it was a terrific ball.
Well, I have to say, there might be a few question marks in the Arsenal bench as to why and how Nicky Butt ends up bare. You can see him, he's totally unmarked from the minute they set the free kick up. And had he gone just a fraction earlier, he might well have nicked the equaliser there. A little bit of stomach cramp, reason for the tablets that Nicky Butt took earlier.
Had so many battles, of course, against Arsenal in his Manchester United days. Smith onto Martins. It's come out to Jeremy. Smith. And for once, Clichy hesitated. Not like him. And he's conceded the corner.
Newcastle's first.
Taylor and Rosenal, their centre-backs, have both come forward. Smith on the near post, and Munya hesitated, and it was very close to going in on that post.
Well, they want a penalty or a push for something like that. I don't know what Taylor's saying, he was pushed. Well, it's a combination of the goalkeeper and Diarra. I think Almunia gets a hand on the shot or the head or whatever it was, and Diarra brushed it off the post.
And Arsenal get the free kick to the consternation of the home fans who were already angry.
Well, this is the corner in. Just a little push, he gets there, there's the fist. Oh, hits the post. That's how close it was. Knew the goalkeeper got a touch. Taylor does brilliantly get a header. But a good hand from Almunia, a big hand. That's what they've got down there. Sam Allardyce, a couple of monitors right in front of him, so you can see all the replays. Doesn't miss a thing.
And the anger rises as yet another free kick goes Arsenal's way.
I can only think Stephen Taylor wasn't happy with the challenge. Felt it was being impeded. He's still having a word with Mike Dean, asking about it. Well, that would have been a tough one on Arsenal.
10 minutes to half-time. Adebayor's goal still separates the sides. He went for that and missed it. The boy in behind him couldn't do any better. Arsenal are back in the northeast on Sunday to play Middlesbrough, then of course that massive game at home to Chelsea, and they've also got the North London derby against Tottenham coming up before Christmas. Sonia and Smith clashing. The referee saw nothing wrong. Waves play on. Rosana. Milner back on the left flank. Smith.
I think they've done all right, Newcastle, up to a point. But I do think their lack of goal-scoring ability in the team, genuine goal scorers, none from Barton, none from Jeremy, one from Butt, none from Smith. You know, there's a lot of players looking for the first goal.
Michael Owen, of course, amongst their injured players. Mark Viduka only on the subs bench for the second successive game. Away by Sanya. Always high expectations here, but it remains a fact that they haven't won a trophy for 38 years at Newcastle.
Listen, they haven't won a domestic trophy for 52. I think that's the thing that rankled more than anything with these supporters.
Not terribly impressive first handling, but he'll say he was fouled, and certainly a flag has gone up.
Well, I actually think if Taylor really goes for that ball, I think he's got a genuine chance of getting it. Almunia, for me, goalkeepers normally take him at their highest point. He let that one drop right down, very, very low, and Taylor being very close.
Unlucky. Maybe a bit of skill from Eduardo. Bay. Martins with a header on, but it's gone in behind Smith. And here he is again, Alan Smith. It's a good layoff for Jeremy. That's a dangerous cross.
Dealt with it well. And he just gets a knock here. That's a lovely little dink back, but just not finding Martins. Good possession Colatori took, really good. Nice to see. Referee, a little bang on the head up, you get sun, there's not a lot wrong here.
Smith got a touch on that.
Not quite sure why James Milner is on the edge of the box. And Nicky Butt and Obafemi Martins were in each other's pockets as the ball dropped. Lovely little flick from Smith, did his job.
Diarra, despite lying on the ground, managed to win the ball back. And he's having a little disagreement with Nicky Butt in the centre circle as play goes on with Adebayor.
Mike Dean had a good look at that. He's kept his eye on it.
Gallas, Gilberto, tight. And Joey Barton just reminds him that he's still around.
Look at Colatori, he is sprinting 30 yards. I mean, he just too much too often from him in that respect. He has sprinted like you've never seen.
Mr. Dean remains the calmest man in the stadium.
Well, there's Adebayor getting a grip of him, and quite right. I mean, honestly, Mike Dean's in total control. He's very unfussy as a referee. He doesn't lose it, rush about, brandishing cars. And he comes in and it's a nudge, a barge. He hasn't talked to him or anything, but watch the centre-back here when this happens. He's got the ball now, look at that.
Sadly, it's something for which he's getting a reputation. Joey Barton picks up his second caution. Clichy looking for Adebayor. A searching ball as well. Again, he's picked it out to the sky beautifully and finds Rosicki. Adebayor again. Lays it into the path of Sanya. And Arsenal get a corner.
Well, he got a corner out of nothing, Sanya there, purely because of his pace. I mean, the thing you do get the feeling that Arsenal have got gears to go to. You know, at 1-0, you're not forcing the pace at all.
Adebayor tried to win the header. And Eduardo brushed aside by Barton. They are winning it back though, and it's broken for Gallas, who's remained forward from the earlier corner, and he can stay there because they've got another.
That would have worried them because he is a good finisher, William Gallas. So
Arsenal end the half with a late rally. Aboué with the corner. Eventually. Along the ground for Adebayor this time.
nearly. I think, I just think that, apart from that opening, apart from that mistake from Nzogbia, I think he'd be fairly pleased at how his team have played against Arsenal.
Well, they certainly haven't been swept aside as they have been in the previous two home games against Portsmouth and Liverpool, that's for sure.
No, and Arsenal haven't created as many chances as certainly as Liverpool did. But second half to come, of course. I think it was only 1-0 against Liverpool half-time, wasn't it?
Martins could be in here, trying to make it 1-1. Well, easy to say from up here, but had he hit it first time, he might have had more success, perhaps.
I just think the awareness lets him down so many times. Martins.
And Adebayor on the break, but the whistle has gone.
Oh.
And the referee's produced another card.
He's put Diarra. It's half of the off the ball incident with Nicky Butt. I can only think he's just body checked him and got on his way as Nicky Butt was going back.
His first caution of the season, it's his 9th appearance.
Just left of the screen, keep your eye on that. His Butt goes back, he just hauls him back. Nothing sinister, just drag him back. But I do think the chance before when Martins got in, if he just looks to his right, if he's aware of Jeremy's position, he can just hold it and roll it into his path.
Rosenau forward, looking for Smith, who won the header well. Played up front in the last couple of games, having been in midfield for much of his time since he came here from Manchester United. Eduardo. That was meant for Clichy, intercepted by Bain.
Stoppage time, that's it.
Well, it's now 11 games since Newcastle managed to keep a clean sheet in the Premier League, and that really is costing them dearly. They have had a lot of disruption, however, and have had to make a lot of changes at the back.
Well, Viduka will come on, it's just a matter of when.
Gilberto gives it away. Martin's in a good position, but it's an offside position as well.
And I think that's just about right. I'm not dead in line, but it looked like he just strayed a little bit on this. A little bit anxious to get forward. It's touch and go. Look at that. Touch and go.
Well, it's 20 years since Newcastle suffered 3 defeats in a row here at St James's Park. They're in danger of doing that now. And Zogbia's mistake, giving Arsenal the perfect start here, and it was a perfect finish as well from Emmanuel Adebayor. But since then, Newcastle have shown the kind of spirit that will please their manager Sam Allardyce, who's got a difficult 10 minutes to sort things out in the dressing room. It's Newcastle United 0, Arsenal 1 at the break.
And Peter Beardsley is our guest this evening. His thoughts when we come back. The Toon in trouble again, a goal down. All smiles at the start, Big Sam and Mike Ashley. Arsenal all smiles at the finish there. They lead by a 1-0. Looks like this. It's Villa against Portsmouth at 12:30 on Sky Sports 1. From the Championship, Wolves against Burnley at 5:15. Both games available in high definition on Channel 408. Sunday, Stoke play Watford, both winners last night. Of course, that's a 1 o'clock start on Sky Sports 1, and it's followed by a Super Sunday from Ewood Park with Blackburn and West Ham. We start at 3:30 again. Both matches available in high definition. Well, there's Big Sam and the owner of the club, Mike Ashley. Not bad, in fairness, first half. Just the 1 lapse, the 1 goal from Emmanuel Adebayor, and Arsenal lead with it. But they were frightening at Aston Villa in the first half. Arsenal, well, there are no signs of that. What do Newcastle do now in order to try to get something back out of it? Because 1's not a big lead, is it?
No, it isn't. You know, and while it's 1, you're always in the game. So, you know, I think we'll be trying to pen them back in their half, and we'll be playing for free kicks and corners. And you know, it's worked for us before, so as I said, and I think for me that's our best option at the moment. You know, when you look at the pace they have at the back, it's going to be difficult for us to play our way through them. So at the moment, the aerial route looks the best. With
the danger, of course, always being Adebayor, who went 8 games recently without a goal. Now it's 3 and 4 again. Now he's top scorer in the Premier League again. He's quite a player, isn't he? He is, you know, and Andy talked in commentary about the difference in Arsenal's team is they get goals from everywhere. And at the moment, we haven't done that as a team, and that's the big difference, you know. And when you know goals are coming from everywhere, it's a big thing to have in your team. He's talked also a lot this season about the options that Adebayor gives them, that they can now cross balls into the box because he can head a ball. He certainly can. You saw that at the weekend, Villa, you know, the way he hung, you know, without being funny, it was like Andy in his peaky, like it was magnificent, you know, and that is a great thing to have in your team because, as you said, Richard, normally they try to pass your way through, but because he can head a ball. He certainly can. You saw that at the weekend, Villa, you know, the way he hung, you know, without being funny, it was like Andy in his peaky, like it was magnificent, you know, and that is a great thing to have in your team because, as you said, Richard, normally they try to pass your way through, but now they have other options, and that's why they look as strong as they do. A bit critical of Newcastle last time we were here. They ambled out and were 2-0 down within 60 seconds of the start of the second half. A little more about them there. And what of this players' revolt, or the alleged players' revolt that Shay Given issued this statement about yesterday? What's all that about? Yeah, I think, I have to say, I think it's common knowledge that Shay and Steve Harper went to see him, but what was said, I genuinely don't know. But yeah, I think it's one of them situations. When you're in trouble, everybody finds out about everything. When you're winning, nothing ever comes out, you know. But it's one of them situations where Shay and Steve, obviously, as senior players, voiced their opinion, but Sam ultimately have something to do with arrangements for Christmas? Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't know the exact facts, but I think you know, the manager was obviously going to try and get them away for a few days and sort of combine 2 games together, if you like. But nothing about playing style? No, I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I wouldn't have thought it makes a lot of difference to 2 goalkeepers, without being disrespectful. You know, they just at the back to try and keep the ball out of the net, and that is their sole aim. Absolutely right. Let's rejoin Andy Gray and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Richard. I don't know about time off at Christmas. Sadly, I'm old enough to remember when they actually used to play on Christmas Day. Well, Newcastle have got to play and play very well in the second half here against an Arsenal team that hasn't lost in the Premier League for 8 months since they were beaten by West Ham. And this season, they're unbeaten in 14 league games, 11 wins and 3 draws. And they also have an excellent record against Newcastle, having suffered just 1 defeat against them in the last 14 meetings. Roberto with the early ball, misplaced. Bay's long throw, looking for Obafemi Martins, who twice in the first half found himself through almost one-on-one on Arsenal goalkeeper Almunia. Second time he was offside, of course. First time he delayed. Here goes Bay on the overlap with Eduardo covering him stride for stride, and it came off him. It'll be, well, I was going to say it'll be a corner, and it hits the flag. That's the kind of bad luck you have when things are going against you. Jeremy's long throw, flicked on by Smith, a brave header away by Kolo Toure. In Zombia! Wow, he really struck that with venom.
Oh, that was brilliantly struck. He already has 3 league goals this season in Zogbia. Strikes it beautifully. But then Kolo Toure goes down. That's the aftermath of the challenge. From the little flick on from Alan Smith. I think it was Taylor and him came together as he was heading it clear. It might have been Joey Barton, actually, I think, that clobbered into him. No, it's just after this flick, and it's up there, and he comes, and it is Joey Barton.
Joey Barton, who was cautioned in the first half, so too was Arsenal's Diarra. Tough character, Toure. I don't think Gary Lewin will have him off the pitch for too long here. Both he and Aboué will be missing in January. They are involved in the African nations with their country, the Ivory Coast, and if they were to go the full distance in that competition, they could be out of action for Arsenal for anything up to 6 weeks.
Well, I think they could probably get away with Aboué. I'm less convinced they can get away with Kolo Toure's absence for that length of time.
Here's Rosicki, who's been a bit of a fringe figure tonight. Barton. Adebayor with the short layoff. Now here is Aboué. Adebayor wants it back again. It's gone beyond him. Sagna. Smith. Did well to win the header. Gallas gets his foot right through the clearance. Away by Rosenau.
It looks like they've just changed it, sorry Alan, slightly. And the fact that Rosicki now looks like he's going to play off Adebayor, and they've moved Eduardo to the left-hand side in front of Clichy.
Obafemi Martins trying to bamboozle Clichy.
I just think it's got to be better than that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. I just think when you get a 1v1 or you get you half a yard, that's easy to do. I could do that. I just think it needs to be a little bit better.
Rosenau's clearance. Eduardo onto Adebayor. Jeremy there to win it back, but not for long. Now Rosicki in his Euro, and straight away looking more dangerous, and that's a lovely ball as well for Aboué.
Wrong choice for me. Need to be special to beat Shea Given from that angle. He had 3 players he could have picked out if he had just stood up back post.
Sagna, confidence to come inside and beat his man. Lovely layoff then by Rosicki to Diarra. Adebayor almost back into the path of Rosicky, and straight away that combination looks to be paying more dividends for Arsenal than the one between Eduardo and Adebayor in the first half.
Yeah, he's been lively in the opening 5 minutes, Rosicky.
Martin's drifting out to the right for Newcastle.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of system they played. They played it at, I think, Bolton in the opening day, with him playing from there. I think he got a couple of goals that day as well. And Mark Viduka up top. And Milner on the left.
Martins is the leading scorer for Newcastle this season with 6 goals. Scored at Blackburn, of course, at the weekend, and also missed a great chance from close range to get another. Here's Taylor. Rosenau, the Czech Republic international, back to Nzogbia. Now it's Smith who's gone out to the right. Jeremy caught napping and committed a foul. Toure. Sonia happy to let it run for the throw. Sonia again. Maguire lost it and then won it back quickly. Diarra. Mickey Butt's challenge was a good one. Milner takes it on for the home side. Smith wants the throw early. It's gone, however, to Nzogbia. Now Rosenau. Milner. Rosenau's cross, easily dealt with. Crowd urging Jeremy to shoot first time. And again, the noise levels rise a few decibels here as Smith tries to reach the long throw. Here's Taylor for Newcastle. Oh, that could be a dangerous mistake with Adebayor and Rosicky in partnership here. Good recovery.
Well, Adebayor didn't do him any favours. He's screaming at Rosicky, but if he's in front of Rosicky, who's running with the ball, then he can't play him or else he's offside. I think he's trying to explain that. I mean, as soon as Adebayor gets in front of him, he's in nexus here. Now look at Adebayor. If he plays it, he's offside. If he plays it, he's offside. If he plays it, he's offside. He cannot play him in.
Bit of a breakdown in communications there between the man from Togo and the Czech Republic international. Nzogbia.
He got away with that. Stephen Taylor a little clumsy with his control.
He's gone in behind Sanya, but he's quick enough to recover.
That'll be a foul. He is quick enough to recover. But Milner just nicked it past him.
Taylor coming to add his extra height to the mix.
Well, they're not the best, I don't think, set plays defending him, Arsenal.
Munya with an easy take in the end.
It's just a giveaway. Just a giveaway.
Given takes control of the situation, and it's a flick on by Bay that bypassed Smith. Sanya. And still Adebayor's goal as early as the 4th minute separates the sides here. Gallas. It's good work from Barton, and indeed Newcastle get the throw. Charles Nzogbia. That's a disappointing ball. Here's Rosicki, Abue, lovely control. Diarra. Sanya with a good ball for Gilberto, who's got Clichy going down the left. Eduardo finds him. Adebayor's got away from his marker again here. Not quite as athletic as he was when he scored that wonderful goal.
Yeah, you've talked about him pulling a through and him out the air tonight. I think the only surprise here is he hasn't controlled this better. It's in the air for a long time, certainly within range of him dragging it in comfortably.
Touré's header. Now Sanya knows that Smith is breathing down his neck here. Adebayor up against Rosenau. The defender's got to watch this all the way. Now, was he fouled by Adebayor? Yes, he was.
Oh, so defenders are not daft, and as soon as there's contact, like right now, they do like to go over and get the free kick. Nothing wrong with that. He's under pressure.
Milner. Smith held it up well. Milner again. Oh, well played, Milner. Well played, Almunia.
Yeah, good goalkeeper. Wasn't really anything on. Martins didn't move from the back post. Jeremy was just hanging out, just a little edge of the 6-yard box, waiting for something.
Joey Barton.
It was a difficult choice of all inside Sanya there. That has been a good start to the second half.
Here's Smith again. Milner.
You know, they put 2 or 3 in there, and they've had no one going in on anything.
Unnecessary hurried ball from Eduardo. Nzogbia was tripped.
Well, Shea Gibbons come 40 yards to have a go at Mike Dean, and Mike Dean just said, I don't need you here. You have a yellow card, son.
Totally unnecessary caution from the Newcastle keeper.
Well, I said 40 yards. I probably gave him 60 yards to have a go at him, and I don't know why. I mean, it's a simple foul. I don't know if he's complaining about Diarra. I think he's already been booked, Diarra, hasn't he?
Yes.
So I don't know whether he's moaning about the tackle. It was a simple free kick. End of.
Now Gibbons booked himself. Jeremy drives it into the heart of the defence, and Almunia, well, Nicky Butt nearly, if you pardon the pun, nicked it away from him.
Well, how close is Nicky Butt?
Still in the middle with Smith and Martins and Taylor. The Geordie boy has brought them level. You can't exactly call it a sigh of relief.
Well, that last year, something to cheer. And this is their confidence in playing it out of defence has undone them this time. They tried to pass the ball out. Maybe they should have just clubbed it upfield. That certainly would have been the easy way to go here. But they try and work it out. It doesn't go out. The little nicks from Smith's important. Full marks to Obafemi Martins for his little step over at the back post. This time he is aware that someone's behind him. And I'll tell you what, that is a pretty neat finish. Might have been handball there. They were all shouting for it, but they didn't get it, and they're glad they didn't. And at last, Big Sam has something to cheer tonight.
And 50,000 Geordies have virtually lifted the roof off this place. An hour gone, and Newcastle are level. Stephen Taylor's first goal of the season as well. Now it's going to get interesting. Jeremy. Barton onto Bay. Good work from Gilberto for Arsenal. Eduardo. Adebayor. Clichy continues his run. And they'll chase everything down now, the team in black and white. Just listen to the noise around the stadium now.
Well, now we'll see if his side can press on. How good is their belief? Can they keep Arsenal under pressure? It's obviously important that they don't get overstretched and get picked off at the back. It's that delicate balance between going for the game, as the fans want them to do, and not being stupid about it.
Yes, in the circumstances, whoops, nearly a mistake by Almunia, but after 4 defeats in 5 games, a draw against the league leaders would be a terrific result. But you try telling these fans...
Now Mike Dean's going to book Sanya, and I'll tell you why he's going to book Sanya, because Alan Smith ran across, made no tackle on him, none at all. And Sanya cleared the ball and immediately crumpled to the ground. He's going to book the Arsenal player. I'm absolutely, totally convinced that he's doing the right thing, and you won't get any complaints. You watch Smith, runs past him, down he goes, hauling, rolling, rolling, rolling. Smith doesn't make the tackle, doesn't put a leg out. He made too much of it, and he got caught. Good refereeing.
Well, you can't fool the Geordie fans, and you can't fool Mr. Dean either. Rosenau's ball over the top. Second caution of the season for the French international. Nicky Butt's clearance. Back again to Jeremy. Up goes long, looking for Joey Barton. And Toure with a hurried clearance has conceded the corner. I think, no, it might have just gone for a throw, yeah.
Oh, and yeah. But managers look for all sorts of ways to give your team confidence when you're struggling. There is nothing, I repeat, nothing that can give a player more confidence and more belief than a goal.
Is Arsenal's unbeaten record in the Premier League on the line here? As Smith flicks goalwards.
Well, he's won just about every little flick like that. They won a couple in the first half, but they never quite cleared the free kick. This was Arsenal's problem. They're high up the pitch, but they don't get back in. And that little flick there gives them a problem. Now clear it, just clear it, but they don't. Such is their belief that they can play their way out of trouble all the time, that it's their undoing, because they don't get the ball out. They never get themselves set after that, and there's the final outcome. You know, sometimes you have to realise you're under pressure and put the ball in Rose Ed. Sometimes not a bad place for the ball to be when you're defending a lead.
And the big centre-back showed a striker's instinct with his finish. Zogbia. It's getting a bit tetchy out there, as you'd expect from a game of this importance. But Mr. Dean in full control of things.
Well, you just get the feeling that it's such an important 25 minutes for Newcastle. You know, for his side, having gotten themselves back in the game, and if they were to go and lose this, you just wonder what effect it might have on them.
And Munya has to be quick here.
Good goalkeeping. There was no hesitation.
Arsenal are on the back foot at the moment, but they were on the back foot for most of the second half on Saturday against Aston Villa, and they withstood it.
Yeah, but they had that goal lead, didn't they? This time they know there's a genuine threat to their unbeaten run. And wouldn't it just be football if Newcastle were the one team to do it after all the problems they've had? I should have just thrown that to Stephen Taylor, Rosenall, and then it could have gone across to Habib Bate right back, and they'd have been away again, Newcastle. Think about Arsenal, you look at their bench, and I see Bentner and Walcott and Danielson. Three very, very good players. Any one of whom could come on and turn this game Arsenal's way again. And there's one of them, Nicholas Bentner.
Right on cue.
Well, he's a good player, this lad, and he's hugely confident in his own ability. Spent a year at Birmingham City last year. Had a chat with him at the end of the season, one of the local hostilities in the area, and he is a confident lad. There's no doubt about that.
And he has scored against Newcastle earlier this season in that Carling Cup tie I mentioned. Eduardo playing it forward to Abule here. Well, they will cheer every single tackle like that now, the home fans, particularly from a homegrown player. Sanya. And Nicky Butt wins the throw as a bonus. 3/4 of the way through, and Arsene Wenger has decided to make a change, and it was Eduardo who was partly responsible for conceding the equalising goal, who will be replaced.
Well, obviously Rosicky will go wide on the left again, and Bentner should, I would expect, to go and join Emmanuel Adebayor.
A lofty front two then for the Gunners. They've given it away again. Nicky Butt forward, away by Toure. 3/4 of the way through, and it's anybody's game at the moment as Martins is caught offside. Rosicky. Diarra. Gallas looking for Adebayor, who again takes it down brilliantly on his chest, but has lost possession to Barton. Gallas knows that Smith won't give up on this. He's had a good game, Alan Smith. He's not stopped running, and he's won so many headers.
He's overrun that. He definitely overrun that.
Barton stumbling through the first challenge. Milner. And Diarra had a little snap at his ankle there. You've got to be careful.
I think they're absolutely right. That was a crazy thing for Diarra to try and do there.
Especially as he's already on a course.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. to try and keep their foot on the pedal here, Newcastle.
Well, we've talked about Alan Smith winning a few headers, so there's absolutely no reason if they want to toss this in again that they shouldn't.
He's on the near post, indicating he wants the ball. This time he doesn't win the header. He's claiming it was a foul. As this played back in, and now Munya quick to react.
What a quick to clear.
Adebayor.
Oh, great play.
Abue. Bentner. And on to Sanya.
Well, if he stands that up above Rosenhall, Adebayor's got a great chance. Slick football that from Arsenal.
Smith trying to get Nzogbia in behind Toure, but he's quick and he's strong. Even though he's not very popular here at the moment.
I like this referee. He's had a really good game tonight, Mike Dean. I like the way he controls the game. Not one of these that rushes across to incidents and flames them. Just walks across casually. He wanted nothing to do with Kolo Toure there, just told him get up and let's get on with it. There was nothing wrong.
As Milner's cross is headed clear by Sanya. Bentner, good header. Adebayor. Bentner collided with somebody in the middle of the field there and lost his footing, but it's gone on to Rosicki.
Well, trust me, Habib Bey's getting a booking when this move finishes. Much the same way that Diarra did against Nicky Butt when he dragged him back first half. I think we'll find Mike Dean go to Habib Bey, the right back, and just say, yellow card, son.
Here he is up against Rosicki, who brings him down.
Now this might confuse him because I think he's going to go over and book him. But he certainly have a word with him. Just keep an eye on it.
They'll go potty here, won't they? You're quite right though, Andy, good spot.
Now you watch him there. He goes past, there he does, he drags Bentner away, right in front of the referee. He's thinking what? We know what.
He thought he got away with it, didn't he? Well, you wouldn't want to argue with him at the moment. Pressure, managers? And Newcastle will keep the pressure on Arsenal here, but not for long. Adebayor's header has gone in behind Rosicki. Clichy. Well, you couldn't exactly say that Arsenal are looking rattled, but Newcastle have given them a game in this second half. Adebayor. Yet another header that Smith has won, and Martins will keep pursuing it. Toure. Could be danger here for Newcastle if they can get it to Abue. They've got Bentner and Adebayor in the middle, two big targets to try and pick out.
Yeah, did well. Nicky Butt got over, helped his full back out.
Sanya. Optimistic.
That's a decent hit. Well, you don't often outpossess an Arsenal side.
Well, I'm sure whatever happens, Sam Allardyce will take great encouragement from his team's performance, but what they really need at the moment is points.
Yeah, well, I think that started at the weekend now. I thought they were much better against Blackburn away. A little unlucky, the scoreline was hugely flattering in Blackburn's favour, I felt. And they brought that better performance into tonight's game.
Bentner.
Mark Viduka will be joining his teammates very shortly.
Well played, Milner here. Rosicki for Arsenal, 15 minutes to go. Sanya. Milner finds Smith, on to Martins. Free kick.
So the free kick, just a little late. Well, it was this kind of area, maybe a little deeper, where they flighted this ball in, and they didn't deal with it. He's just got to try and dink this one rather than fizz this one in, I would guess. Give his teammates a chance.
Jeremy went for goal and got it wrong.
Well, that's wrong choice for the skipper. And there's his last piece of action.
A substitution for Newcastle United.
He hands over the captain's armband and hands over the responsibility to the Aussie international Mark Viduka to try and snatch an unlikely victory here for Newcastle United in the time remaining. No complaints from the home fans tonight. No abuse directed at the manager, not yet anyway.
No, it's the right decision. Alan Smith back into midfield. Mark Viduka up top.
Cleared by Nzogbia. Viduka denied his first touch. It's gone to Toure. Let's remind you of our championship action on Sunday on Sky Sports 1, beginning at 1. It's Stoke City against Watford, who got a very valuable and much-needed win last night. And, of course, from the Premier League, Super Sunday brings you Blackburn against West Ham. Milner couldn't pick out Viduka, but there's another chance for him, and he's laid it off to Smith. Struck it straight against Gilberto. Here's Rosicki for Arsenal. Certainly won't be in Arsenal's nature to settle for a draw. So there could be a tale to tell yet here in the closing stages. Gallas.
Well, a victory for Arsenal. Neither here nor there as far as their confidence is concerned, but if Newcastle were somehow to just nick a victory in the last 10 minutes of this match, what a shot in the arm it would be for the team and the supporters.
And certainly the manager. There's Taylor, who's at least given them the chance of 1 point. Clichy picks out Adebayor with the throw. Bentner is with him. Well played again, Adebayor. Important interception then by Rosenau, who will take it forward and waste it as it happens.
Well, at a time when home fans are looking for a bit of pressure, they're getting it from the team the last 10 minutes.
Towering header by Bentner to Adebayor. And the linesman spotted an infringement there. Free kick to Arsenal.
Just a handball from James Milner, just bopped up, caught him on the arm.
Well, with the extra strength they have in the air now with Bentner, the right delivery from Aboué here, and Newcastle could have a problem.
They've got 5 good targets now. Gallas and Toure up there as well.
Gibbon hesitated and then made a brilliant save.
Well, they're all concentrating on the big boys and everyone forgot about Rosicky. There's not a lot he can do except help this back, but they leave him totally spare at the back post. He's looking just to feed it in. Pretty good hand from the goalkeeper in the end.
So important to knock that well clear of danger. 10 minutes to go. Well, when confidence is low, it's that nervous time of the game, isn't it? When you just worry if all your efforts will come to nothing. Well, the throw-in has gone Newcastle's way. That's the little break they wanted. Arsenal have scored more than half their goals in the Premier League this season in the final stages of games, but it's Newcastle looking for a goal themselves here. Martins is dispossessed. Diarra driving on. Aboué. Oh, brilliant play from Diarra. Adebayor couldn't control it.
I think in that League Cup tie at the Emirates earlier this season, it was 2 80-minute goals, wasn't it? 83 and 89 or something like that. That won the game for Arsenal very late on.
A draw would increase Arsenal's lead over Manchester United of 4 points. Nicky Butt wins it back for Newcastle. Bay. Arsenal have won their last 3 games in the Premier League, 11 wins in all. Diarra. Clean header by Taylor. And Bay didn't quite know which way to turn then, and Rosicky has taken the ball off him. No foul. Well, no one's left their seat early here at St James's Park tonight. This game still intriguingly in the balance. Sanya's taken a chance. And Touré's tackle would have been a free kick, but the referee has waved play on. Milner, Viduka in the centre.
We'll keep it in.
Goal kick.
Okay. Just got to be a little careful if Arsenal take a chance that they don't get caught. I think that was Sam Allardyce was just saying that. Just, you know, be aware of what's back there.
Bender. Interception by Nicky Butt, and they're sliding in to win it back for Arsenal. Now Rosicky. Pouring men forward as usual, including Diarra here. Adebayor. And it's gone back to him. A risky challenge, wasn't it? Risky challenge, but an effective one.
And just about got away with it.
Heart in the mouth time then for Sam Allardyce, I'm sure. Diarra. Adebayor. Gilberto. Rosicky. And Adebayor swings it goalwards again.
Flag's gone up for offside. But he's played it on. Another good decision from the ref.
Milner. Here's Viduka. Martins. And Zogbia. Can he find the right ball for Viduka here? No, he can't.
Well, Allardyce get a bit of stick. There, fans behind this goal felt he went down a little too easily here. And I think you can understand why they're a little upset with him.
Still a massive sigh of relief around St James's Park. There are 5 minutes to go here. Arsenal have not lost a league game this season. Newcastle have been beaten in 4 of their last 5. Will they share the points, or will we yet see a winner? I suppose you'd say, Andy, on the balance of play, a draw would be about right.
At the moment, absolutely.
Slippy clearance there by Rosenau. That could be costly. Adebayor.
And yet again, Nicholas Bentner having a little word with Mike Dean, said as he made that run, he was just hauled back off the ball. Now this little 1-2, there was Nicholas Bentner. If you look at that, yeah, you can see Stephen Taylor just yanked him back there. Dangerous.
And this corner could be dangerous. Bentner makes a run to the near post and got something on that. It came off the defender for another corner.
That was a pretty poor corner from Maziski.
Now it's Touré's turn to run to the near post and create some space. Given with the punch away, has to be aware of Diarra's presence, and Barton managed to scramble it away from him. Martins has held it up well. Now can he find the right ball? Yes, Milner. That was a difficult one to control. They kept possession with Joey Barton. Martins forward to Viduka. Good turn by Viduka, and they were willing that to go in. It's a corner.
Well, they had 2 options. They might have slid Obafemi Martins straight back, but Martins' run just attracts Gallus a little bit, and he backs away from him, and I just think he took 1 touch too many, Mark Viduka. There was a gap, there was an opening. He took an extra touch and Gallus closed it.
And when you're stretched and did really well to make any contact.
Yeah, it's a decent little hand under a bit of pressure from Martin Viduka. And this is where Sam Allardyce would want his team to be finishing this game, this end of the pitch, looking for a winner.
No one's heading for the exits here.
It's another corner.
Just the kind of late pressure that Newcastle would have wanted. Can they turn it into a winner? When you're stretching again, but this time he can't reach it, and from almost underneath the crossbar, Newcastle had a wonderful opportunity through Taylor to go and win it.
Well, Eboué does brilliantly here, because they don't pick up Nicky, but he knocks it back, and just as Taylor thinks he might be doing it, Eboué just smacks it over the bar. Really good defending. 127 stops the other.
Taylor's there again. Cleared by Adebayor. Nicky Butt. Arsenal are hanging on in the final minute here. Viduka heads it on. Away by Kolo Touré. That was a real 50-50 ball that had to be won, and it's Newcastle who won it.
Trying to squeeze him in, stop the throw coming out easily. And whatever time's left, trying to keep the ball up this end of the pitch, Sam Allardyce.
Well, they could still lose it, but just look at the expressions on the faces of those fans. Sam Allardyce and his team have won them over again tonight. Smith, who's battled as well as anyone in the black and white stripes.
Well, that's like most footballers are. You know, they may not be the most gifted side that's out here, Sam Allardyce's team, but they've given everything. And when professional footballers give a lot and supporters see them doing that, you'd be absolutely amazed how much respect they get.
Yes, absolutely right. That's what they want as a first priority here.
Yeah.
But here's Adebayor threatening them at the other end.
That's a big decision.
He's got a big call to make here, and he's waved play on.
Well, he looked at the linesman. I don't think the linesman can give this decision. And it's whether Habib Bey's leaning into him. I think he might have been, you know.
Arsene Wenger's very angry. He's on the touchline as Nzogbia goes forward here and finds Nicky Butt. Shoot was the order.
Well, that was a tired attempt. Well, he's going on about that free kick. And there's what the referee's looking at. And does Habib Bey lean into him? I think he might have done. Look, Mike Dean looks over at the linesman. I don't think the linesman can help him here. This is a referee's decision. He's looking right down the pitch. He's a long way away, I know. I think he got away with that.
Big call for the officials in stoppage time. 3 minutes, remember. Rosenal's clearance. Back in Michael Toure, but only as far as Barton. Martins will chase this into the corner with Clichy. Very calm defending by the young Frenchman. Rosicki with a good early ball out as well. Gilberto beaten to it, but Arsenal will get a lucky little rebound. Diarra. Adebayor could get in here now. Surely he was blocked that time. No, again, play on is the verdict.
That one's easier not to give. No doubt Steven Taylor makes sure that he's not getting there. As he plays this, he knows Adebayor's behind him and he just blocks him off. Make your own mind up, folks, at home. Looks a foul to me.
Me too. Bentner. Abue's up with him. Desperate stuff here in the last 30 seconds almost now. Clichy skips around Joey Barton's challenge. Gallas, no risks at this stage. And Smith, who's epitomised Newcastle's performance, chases down Almunia. Bentner. Abue goes down, and this time it is a free kick to Arsenal, and it will give them their last opportunity to get the ball in the Newcastle box.
Well, this is it. Wenger knows it. I tell you what, it's a good foul to give away, because Abue was away and he had support. Now at least they can get men back behind the ball. You can pick up man for man. You get yourself nice and touch tight and make sure you deal with your man. That's what Sam will be trying to say. I'm not so sure why he wants to there. I don't think Abue's going to hit this. It's more important to get people out to defend any second ball that might drop down.
Abue plays it in. Gibbon comes and punches and did really well. He was under terrific pressure there, the goalkeeper. The final whistle. Excellent game of football and the right result, I think. Handshakes from the two managers. Steven Taylor, the local boy, made good, made very good for Newcastle United here tonight with his equalising goal. After Adebayor had given Arsenal the lead with a wonderful finish inside